This is the Milo Beasley Show. This is the Milo Beasley Show. There's only one thing you need to know. This is the Milo Beasley Show. And now, here's your host, Milo Beasley.
And welcome to the Milo Beasley Show. Episode number, oh gosh, what are we, like 336, 337, something like that. We are way up there. I'm excited for this week's episode. You know our next guest from the Nickelodeon show, one of the very first ever actual live action Nickelodeon shows. Salute your shorts. Please help me welcome Henry Laster. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, man. So let's chat a little bit about Salute Your Shorts. Actually, let's start a little bit before that. So you were actually born, I live in Florida, so you were born in Florida, right?
Yes, I was born in Miami, Florida.
Oh, that's fantastic. How long did you live here?
I lived in Miami, Florida for about 2 years, then moved to Georgia, then Boys Town, Nebraska.
Oh, okay. Nebraska. I've never actually met anybody from Nebraska, so I don't think it's a real place. And then at what point did you start getting interested in entertaining people, in acting and singing, stuff like that?
I was always thinking of puns and all of that throughout my school, and then all of a sudden I went to Universal and actually pretty much got stopped by the tram operator or the director of Salute Your Shorts.
Oh, so was it like an open casting call, or did they seek you out? What happened?
Actually, they kind of sought a person out, but not particular me. The director of Salute Your Shorts actually stopped the tram and said, "I'm looking for one very type of person," and he came by me, and I said to my friend, "I never win anything like that," and so he turns around. Or whips around, I should say, very fast, and said, "What did you just say?" And I said, "I don't want to get in trouble." And he said, "Say it," and all of that. And I said, "I never win anything." And he said, "You're the one that I'm looking for."
Wow, so that was your audition. So did you have to audition from there, or were you just cast immediately?
Actually, I had to be recasted or re-auditioned for other people that, even though he had already chose me, but
right,
it actually was pretty much a cut and dry thing.
So did you have to do the old read lines in front of people in a room type thing?
Actually, I just had to pretty much be myself.
Oh,
and do some cutting up puns and all of that. He said, "Just be yourself."
That's awesome. And how old were you when this happened?
Actually, I was 8.
8? Gosh, that had to be pretty nerve-wracking, right? To be an 8-year-old and, be like, you're auditioning for a TV show.
Yep, it was. And I did not expect it to gain much traction from that one particular episode that I was on all episodes, but some of them you can see me in, some of them you can't, but I was still on set all the time.
Right, and you're famous for receiving the first awful waffle, right?
Yes, I was the only person that actually received it.
Oh,
because even offset, I was actually prone to do it.
So history-making moment there on Salute Your Shorts. Now, for some folks who may not understand what an awful waffle is, what exactly is an awful waffle?
If I told you, then I'll have to key it, not.
Oh.
But an awful waffle is you get hoisted up on a table, you pull your shirt up, and then a tennis racket is firmly pressed on your stomach with any kind of syrup that you want. And it leaves the imprint of a waffle.
That does sound pretty awful. I mean, but okay, so it was never shown on. Did they did they film it just in case they wanted to show it later, or did they just
No,
cut it and then you
no,
never actually had to do it?
we cut it because
Okay.
it was too sticky and so forth like that. But I
Right.
did get
Right.
one offset of that episode.
What? They still got you?
We wanted to see what it was really like, and I nominated myself to do it.
That's fantastic. So what was it like? Was it sticky?
It was very sticky. I had to stay in the shower for almost 3 hours to get that syrup off of me.
Ah, that's brutal.
I
And
felt like a prune afterwards.
what did your family think about you becoming a child actor?
My parents really did not have any say in it because I was actually in the program called Boys Town, Nebraska, Father Flanagan's Boys Home, and I had house parents at
Ah,
that time. But they
okay.
absolutely loved it.
Yeah. That's great. And then so that show ran for what, like 2 years? 2 years, I believe.
Yes, 2 seasons. Yes,
Did you ever get recognized in public as Kent when you were young?
yes, yes, and I
Yeah.
still do actually.
That's fantastic. Now, were those glasses, because they're huge, thick glasses, were those glasses that you actually wore, or were they prop glasses?
Prop glasses because there was Coke bottle glasses.
Right. Do you wear? Well, did you wear glasses at that time?
I did not know,
Did
but
not. Okay.
we just had regular glasses and glass, but it was very thick and very heavy.
Yeah, I bet if you're not used to wearing those, especially as a kid, and all of a sudden you have these gigantic Coke bottle glasses. So then, where did you go after that? Did you do more television shows? Did you veer off and do like theater, in school and stuff like that? Where did you go next after Salute Your Shorts?
Actually, I've done some theater work in school, and then I also did some more shows on Nickelodeon. Like I was on a lot of episodes of The Adventures of Pete and Pete, and
That's
I have
awesome.
also done one episode of Hey Dude, which is I'm not credited for. Um, and then I also done some voiceover work.
That's fantastic. I loved Hey Dude. I think it was probably my favorite of all the Nickelodeon shows. Now, you may be a little bit biased, but do you have a favorite of those old Nickelodeon shows?
Actually, my favorite was actually the same one as Hey Dude. I loved Hey Dude myself because I got to interact with the guest ranch and all of that.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, so during downtime, did you get to go and do some of the Dude Ranch type stuff?
I did, yes, I did very much so because the guest ranch that it was filmed at was the Canterbury Guest Ranch in Tucson, Arizona, and
Oh,
they did have the Young Buckaroos program.
that's awesome. Oh, so you got to do that, and then like you said, you got to do Pete and Pete. How is Pete and Pete? How is that to work on?
That was actually pretty fun, especially with the younger brother Pete, the one that had the petunia tattoo, and they say that it was real, but it was not.
No, okay. I'd like to see. I'd like to see nowadays.
But also, there's a little tidbit of information that I can share about that show. If
Oh,
you
absolutely.
look at if you look at the opening number of Pete and Pete, you'll see that Petunia was originally on the left hand, then it went to the right hand.
Huh. All right. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that. Like right after we get done, that's gonna be the first thing I do, and then I'm gonna tweet about that and make it seem like it was my that I found it.
Ah, sure.
So and then besides that, you tried your hand at being a stand-up comedian as well.
I have, yes, and I done that actually in Jacksonville, Florida. I was actually doing some little shows there, and I want to try to get back into it, but I really did not have that much of a following doing comedian work.
So whether it's television or movies or shorts or theater or stand-up comedy or voiceover work, as you said you did, do you have a preference for one of those particular fields?
Actually, I prefer voiceover and TV shows.
Oh, okay. So what do you like? Was it about voiceovers that you like?
Voiceovers because I can do different characters, and no one can really tell that it's you right off the bat unless you slip up and use your real voice.
Right, right. Yeah, this is true. Do you have a bank of characters that you like to go to, when auditioning and stuff like that, or do you just be like, or are you just whatever they're asking you for? That's what you do on the spot.
I do whatever they're asking for on the spot because that way I cannot say that I've used that particular voice with them before or someone else.
Yeah, I can see that. Do you have voices though that you have practice on your own that if somebody says, all right, well, why don't you come up with something that you have voices, prepared for that?
Why, certainly. Why, certainly I do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I've got
fantastic.
some that
That's
I
great.
can do in my repertoire.
Yeah. So back to salute your shorts. I want to hate to bring it down, but just last week we had a passing of Kirk Bailey, who was UG on the show. Can you tell us a little bit about your experiences working with Kirk?
Kirk was fun to be around. I loved him as a father figure, as you can tell by the EW article, because they tweeted, or actually they posted what I had tweeted in that article on Entertainment Weekly.
Oh wow,
He was very nice. He was very down to earth, and he was very calming to me. I looked up to him.
that's fantastic. Yeah, because he was obviously he was older. He was the counselor, and you were very young on that show.
Yes, I was.
Do you have any particular memories of Kurt of UG on either a particular scene or something that just happened off camera that you can tell?
Actually, the one thing that really stands out in my mind is when he jumped in the Lake Anawanna, of course, going after Male Park Mona, and so forth like that, and he busts his eardrum.
Yeah, that's man, I don't remember. Does he actually bust the eardrum on the show, or was that something that happened in real life?
Actually, it was done on the show, but not formally introduced on the show. Because when he
Ah,
jumped into the lake,
that's interesting that they would do that on the show when it happened
they
like that.
he didn't. He really did not know it until like 2 weeks later afterwards.
Wow. I would think that you would be able to know though, like off the bat. Now, another question about Salute Your Shorts, and as you mentioned, Camp Anawanna. Did you get to keep the Camp Anawanna shirts that you wore on the show?
Actually, I do have them. Yes,
You do? How many do you have?
I have at least five.
That's great. Do you have any? Are they hung up? Are they framed anywhere, or do you just have them like in a closet, in a drawer? Like, are they on display?
No, they're not on display. I do have one that I do have framed, but I'm not going to show it because that one is very finicky and all of that. And I do have a tendency of dropping things.
Well, I'm with you. I'm with you there. Now I want to talk about a little bit about your personal life. So you've actually been diagnosed as being legally blind, right?
That is correct. Yes.
So how is it, you know, being able to audition to get work, to find stuff in the entertainment business, while being legally blind, not being able to necessarily drive yourself to places that to auditions and stuff like that?
I have to either take Greyhound, Amtrak, or fly, depending on their location. And then also, like, if they're local, I can also use my local paratransit service.
Oh, fantastic. And obviously Uber and things like that as well.
Correct. Yes.
Do you trust Uber?
Actually, I do. Yes. But
Okay.
what I do is if I'm going to a particular set that I know I'm going to be on, I have them I look up the address and drop off somewhere close by because we're not supposed to disclose locations like that.
Right. That makes sense. Yeah, I've never thought of that, but when you're being dropped off on a set, you can't be dropped off on a set or else everybody will know where it's at because the driver will then go and tell everyone, "Hey, I just dropped off so-and-so at this location."
Right, because it's happened to me actually twice before.
Oh, so now you smartened up to it and
Yeah.
and now you have them drop you off a couple blocks away. Now I also want to talk about when you and I were talking, you said you were very savvy with computer work, right?
That is correct.
How long have you been, because I'm dumb when it comes to computers, but how long have you been, working on computers and working in computers?
I rebuilt my very first computer at the age of 3.
That's insane.
Yeah.
3 years old, you were building computers.
Yep, I rebuilt it because let's put it like this. I got my first computer and this guy said, "Oh, I can't figure out what this problem is and all of that." And he just let me see the screen once and I told him exactly what was wrong with it.
Huh. That's some Doogie Howser stuff there, man.
Yep, Mensa.
Yeah. So are you a member of Mensa?
I am not, but I can be if I want to be.
So you've been tested? What's your what's that score?
199.
199? Ah, that's incredible. What is there now? Part of my ignorance on this, but is there a highest? Is there a ceiling? 200 is the highest.
Yes.
Ah, so did you keep retaking it to see if you could get 200?
No, I was satisfied with the 199.
That's fantastic. And I also saw that if folks wanted to, you are actually also an ordained minister.
That is correct. Yes, I perform
Have you been able
LGBT
to?
weddings.
Yeah, have you been able to officiate any weddings?
I have. I've done 3 of them so far, and I do promote myself as an LGBT ordained minister.
That's very. I think that's very important, and it's very important nowadays. Again, I live in Florida, so things aren't very good, down here at the moment. So a thing I want to do now, in order to switch lanes here, is a thing called the Milo Beasley Show. Frequently asked questions. Oh, let me. Yeah, there we go. And I am going to ask you the same 5 questions that I asked to all of my guests. So no wrong answers, just the first thing that pops into your head. Are you ready?
Go ahead.
All right. Question number 1. What was the first concert you ever attended?
Never been to one.
You've never been to one?
Nope.
All right, we gotta get you out there. All right. So what kind of music do you like?
I like country and oldies.
You like both kinds of music, country and Western.
And oldies. Yeah.
Oh, and
you
oldies.
can say
Yes.
that.
I was a Blues Brothers. And oldies, so what kind of oldies? Like Chubby Checker, stuff like that?
Chevy Checkers, Gene Autry. I go way back. I prefer the older stuff more than I do the modern stuff because it tells a story.
Right. Now, who's some of your favorite country artists?
Johnny Cash, Patsy Cline, Tammy Wynette, Loretta Lynn, of course.
Right. So you're an old soul then.
Oh yeah, oldie but goodie.
All right. Question number 2. Do you believe in ghosts?
Actually, I do
You do? Have you ever
because
had
my
like weird things happen to you?
actually my former partner is always around me.
Yeah. Is it?
He stays on this shoulder right here.
Yeah. Making sure you're not
Yep.
getting in any trouble.
No, he promotes me to get into trouble.
He's trying to get you into trouble. That's fantastic. All right. Question number 3. So, like, do you think that has he ever like, or have you ever felt like in another situation where like things have moved around you and you have no explanation for it?
I've seen lights flicker on off. I've seen things move, yes, and I've actually seen figments.
Oh wow. Yeah, I don't know if I've seen things like that. So I'm not quite sure where I stand on that. All right. Question number 3. In a movie about your life, who would play your parents? So we're going to switch things up. Most of the time
Oh,
people ask you about who would play you, but who would play your parents?
let's see here. Wow. Actually, to be honest with you, my mother, if she was still alive, would be Arthur
Okay.
because she played that because I could picture her doing that one. And
Yeah.
then let's see here, and then Ben Stiller would play my dad.
Oh, okay. So that funny like the was a jokester.
Yeah.
Question number 4. Who is your favorite person to follow on social media?
Oh God, I can't place her name right offhand, but she was the mother in Modern Life.
Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yes. I can't think of the name either though. So apologies if you're out there watching and none of us can remember your name. And then question number 5. In all your travels, your television shows, things that you've done, have you ever had a fanboy moment where you got to meet somebody who you really, really wanted to meet? Maybe you tripped over your words a little bit.
Actually, that would have been Patrick Swayze when not that long after he done the movie Tu Wong Fu.
Oh, you got to meet him?
I did, yes.
That's awesome. Where did you get to meet him at?
Actually, I met him in New York, in Manhattan.
That's fantastic. It was it like a charity event? Was it like an Actors Guild thing?
Actually, it was a charity event. He done drag up there for the gay and lesbian community center up there.
That's fantastic. I didn't know that.
He really don't like to publicize that much about that one.
Right, man. I love that. I love Tu Wong Fu. I absolutely
Thanks
love
for
it.
everything, Julie Newmar.
Absolutely. I was working on getting Julie Newmar on the show. Fingers crossed that it still happens. Julie, if you're watching, you know, we're waiting.
Especially me. I love her to death.
All right. So I also want to talk, get out your social media. So what are what's your Twitter, your Instagram, TikTok, Facebook? What's all that?
Okay, you can on TikTok, Twitter, and also Instagram. You can find me at 9090s Nick Star. And then on Facebook, facebook.com/HWL actor. And you can reach me. And also, I do have a email just for fans if they want to email me. And all emails are answered by me. There are no staff involved. I answer everything. That is
Fantastic.
90s nickstar@gmail.com.
Fantastic. 90s nickstar.com or at gmail.com. So what kind of content are you throwing up there on the TikTok? I know the kids love the TikTok these days. I'm not so much about it, but what about TikTok do you like?
Actually, right now I've not done that much with it because I had to upgrade my computer and it went down on me a couple of days ago. And so right now I had something up there regarding like some awful waffle, and I had to take that one down because I got a copyright infringement on it. But
Oh,
I have pursued that, and TikTok has released me from that one and so forth.
well, hopefully you don't run into that issue anymore. Uh, so before we wrap up, is there anything you would like to say to your fans out there who I mean, salute your shorts. I've talked to so many people, and when I first started talking to you, you were like, "Hey, how did you come across me?" And it was because I was having a conversation with one of my guests about Salute Your Shorts and about how great it was and about how much we loved it. So, do you have anything to say to the fans out there watching this about Salute Your Shorts?
If you're a fan of mine, feel free to find me on Facebook, or not really add me, but say something on my fan page, or you can message the Facebook fan page as well, and I get that. And I will be putting some videos up for. I do have permission to make the videos of Salute Your Shorts.
Oh, that's fantastic. Do you have you been able to stay in contact with anybody from the show?
Yes, I frequently contact Danny Cooksey through a mutual friend of ours, and he works with another person on a podcast as well.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. And then what about any of the other shows you've done, whether it was Hey Dude or Pete and Pete? Have you been able to keep up with anybody from those shows?
Pete and Pete, not really, but I do still stay in contact with several cast members from Hey Dude.
That's fantastic. And hopefully we can get you out. Hopefully people can see you out at conventions soon, and hopefully traveling around the country. And if not, again, follow Henry on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and I'm sure there's going to be tons of great content on there. All right, so that's about it. Any last words?
Just have an awful waffle day.
Thank you everyone for watching. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, and more importantly, tell your friends. And yes, I think we'll be back next week. Don't know who our guest is yet, but hey, that's the beauty of the show, right? So, Henry, thank you so much for hanging out with me.
Thank you so much for having me. I was glad to be here.
All right, and thank you all for watching, and we'll see you soon.